I'm from a fairly unusual family. My grandfather, who lived in Iowa, USA, was a corn farmer. And when the chemical revolution started back in 1945, after the Second World War, he kind of said to all his farming friends, I think this is going to ruin farming as we know it, and I do not believe we need to use these chemicals. We can continue the way we're going. And all his mates used to say, Vince, you're a fool. You know, this is a new way to farming. We've got to go this way. If you don't, you'll be lost. And he decided not to do it. Everybody else did, and he remained an organic farmer up until his death in 1995. So he was pretty revolutionary in one way, you know, in that way. What changed everything for me was one lecturer, and this lecturer was an anthropology teacher, and he taught me about how humans and food were so closely linked in our evolution that if something went wrong with our food, we did not evolve. And if something, you know, if our food was doing the right things, then we did evolve. And in actual fact, they've seen through history that beer, believe it or not, beer and bread, and this is two fermentation processes, were the creation of civilization. We're part of this civilization that we now have. And so with this interest in anthropology and food and evolution, I thought, great, I'll go back to the university in Australia that teaches nutrition, and I'll go and learn about nutrition. So I had another year that I could do, which was a diploma of dietetics. And as I'm in my last year, I'm thinking, you know what, I don't agree with anything these guys are saying. It has nothing to do with anthropology, but everything to do with this new science and this and this new way of eating, which was low fat and margarine and no salt and counting calories. And I had lecturers that would lecture to me who were either sick or so fat they could hardly sit on their chairs. And so I thought, I don't want to do this. I cannot teach this nutrition that is now mainstream. And so I thought, well, what am I going to do? I'll go back to university and I'll learn more about the human body, and maybe I'll make some sense of what this new nutrition is about. And so I went to Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology and did human anatomy, and I cut up cadavers for 2 years and just learned about disease and the human body and everything I could about the human body. And I did every ology I could possibly do, like biology and, well, I'd already done biology, but, you know, pathology and histology and embryology and all of those in order to understand the human body. And after 6 years of university, I had an aha, and I went, you know what? I have enough behind me to teach the type of nutrition that I believe is right, but was very, very radical. This is the beginning of the cholesterol scare. Diabetes was increasing, heart disease was increasing, and this was the problem back in the 80s. And then I was saying, hey, no low fat. We should be having high, normal fat, and we shouldn't be having pasteurized milk, and we shouldn't be having no salt diets. We should be having salt. So I was very radical back in the 80s. And I rang the local paper and said, would you like a nutritionist to write a weekly column, it's on something a little bit different than the low-fat revolution. And they agreed. So I was writing for the local paper that was sent out to 250,000 residents. And I got letters to the editor that were either, my gosh, this makes so much sense, she's amazing, this seems to be the way to go, to she's the most stupidest nutritionist, why would you ever believe that you can eat eggs and that they're good for you or butter's good for you, and so on and so on. And it went on for a couple of years, and we started to get sued by food manufacturers because I was quite blatant about what I thought about food. And so I'm going to write what I believe, and I have no affiliation with any food company, with any registration or any board, so nobody can put a gagging order on me at this point. I've had people come up to me and say, how do you get away with this? You must be... Food manufacturers and drug companies must just hate you. And I said, you know what? I am small fry compared to them. I'm this little ant that's just eating away, and eventually I'll get there. Because what I'll do is I'll get a crowd of people behind me. And someone said to me the other day, Cyndi, you've got a lot of raving fans, and those raving fans tell other people And those people tell other people. And what's amazing is that more and more people are teaching my type of nutrition. They're realizing that we have to go back to our roots, back to our anthropology, back to the way we used to eat rather than this new revolutionary diet. Like, I'm evolutionary. I'm not revolutionary. I'm evolutionary. And we've got to go away from
I think you are. I think you are revolutionary. because this is grassroots stuff. It's one person at a time, and it's really building momentum. And you give everybody the quality information they need to be able to make these powerful choices in the face of the continual advertising and all the magazine articles and all the nonsense on TV. So I think you are a revolutionary, even though you say you're not. So
thank you. I think revolutionary, yes, I guess I am, but I go back to our roots. I think that that's really important, is that we, in everything that we do now, I think we have to go back to our roots. We can no longer do this new modern living that we're doing, because it's killing people. We have so many people depressed and so many problems. So,
do you think it's this, in inverted commas, new nutrition that's really created the obesity epidemic that everyone panics about?
I have no doubts that the food that we consume has everything to do with not only the obesity epidemic, but the heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and many other diseases that are lifestyle. And what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of these diseases are lifestyle. Because it only makes sense to me that what you put into your body makes your body. And if you put junk in, you'll make junk and you'll have a sick body. If you put good food in, and food that our body knows what to do with, then you will have a body that's healthy.